Black women are not rewarded for mediocrity.
What's good, you guys, and welcome back again on another episode. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing great. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you so much for being here today. In this episode, we are going to be talking about the video this creator made. It's one of my favorite creators, so shout out to this creator because I really love the points he made in this video. In the video he posted, he mentioned why there is nothing like a black Alex L. If you don't know who Alex L is, she is a creator on TikTok, and she has about, I think, 6.5 million or close to 6.5 million followers, and she just does like basic random content, and she has so much followers. So this particular creator is talking about how if he happens to be a black person in that situation, it's almost impossible for a black creator to be at that level that Alex L is if they are doing the same content that she is doing. But she was able to rise to that level because she is a white woman and white people are really supporting her. This sparked a very interesting conversation, and I have put together all of this video, what he said and what other creators are saying as well.
The reason there's no black Alex Earl is because black women are not rewarded for mediocrity, and almost exclusively rewarded for being exceptional. Take a good look at some of the more prominent black women creators on this app. Like you can tell, a lot of thought goes into their video ideas, a lot of thought goes into their aesthetic. Even if you don't agree with what they say, the effort that they put in is undeniable. And when they do like regular slice of life videos, those videos do not get traction, not with any degree of consistency. Whereas like you look at an Alex Earl, she goes viral for existing, like just existing. Now this could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's top down. Maybe there's someone at the administrative level that's just not boosting black women creators. Whatever it may mean to spotlight creators like that. Or maybe it's bottom up, and this is the one I find really compelling. I think there's a large number of fair-skinned consumers that find it very difficult to empathize with women of color. They find it very difficult to project themselves onto these women, which is why they don't reward them for just existing with their attention. And to me, this is honestly an Avengers level threat. This is a societal level threat. It's a big problem because the inability to empathize with people who don't look like you is how we get situations like what's happening in Gaza. If you were capable of empathizing with Palestinian women, maybe you would be more moved to action. Maybe you wouldn't think drinking your Starbucks coffee was a flex, while everyone else was protesting trying to do what they can. Obviously not all, but definitely a large portion. And almost
I just got out of bed. I've never brushed my teeth yet. I want to talk about this. Okay, first of all, biggest lesson I learned in America is as a black woman, you have to do 5 times more than the average person to even get to a percentage of what your white counterparts would get to. And I realized the reason why was because America is not a majority black country. It's a majority white country, and we're the minority, right? And one thing about being black is that you consume every type of content. But the 12, 13-year-old white girl in Alabama, in Atlanta, in freaking LA, she does not give a flying fudge about you or your content. So Alex Earl can be watched by everybody. Monet can maybe be watched by some people. Clark can be watched by a funnel of people. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, even if you're simply existing and creating amazing content, you still wouldn't get as big as an Alex Earl.
not rewarded for mediocrity. And almost
Go watch the rest of that video. Look at the comment section and then come back. Now, as much as I love Monet and Clark, are we gonna start being fucking for real in 2024? When it comes to the representation of black women on this app in particular, in the content beauty space in particular. Yes, Jackie's been holding it down for a very long time, and I love that for her. But she may not want to do this for the rest of her life. The candle business is booming. I got one. Also love Clark and Monet's content. I follow them both. But at the risk of coming off divisive, we both know that when it comes to monoracial black women with textured hair and darker skin and whiter features that are unambiguously black, there isn't anybody else but Jackie. And that's the fucking problem. Like, we want to hold up the one token and like cling to her. It's so unfair because it's like, first of all, we shouldn't be putting all this pressure on Jackie, to be honest. Like, she's not our only hope. At least she shouldn't be. Which is why I got on here and create the content that I do. But because I'm not somebody who has a crazy light setup or like filming on the best HD camera available to me, sometimes my videos don't do very well unless I'm talking to camera. That can be frustrating. because I'm looking at my mixed race, multiracial, and white counterparts doing the same things that I'm doing and getting more, and not having to invest as much. But if I have to step into this space because I look the way that I do, I have to step up so much more. And I'm so glad that this conversation is happening and it's not coming from a Black woman as per usual. But we've been said this shit.
Of fair-skinned consumers that find it very difficult to empathize with women of color.
Listen, the way this will forever be my Roman Empire, people's inability to see the forest through the trees and think so much bigger. People's inability to see how the micro impacts and affects the macro. Now let's be clear, before I even knew who Alex Earl was, before she didn't pop up on my radar until very early last year, but I been knew who Clark was, Jackie Ina, Patricia Bright, your girl Justine's camera roll, she's coming up. I knew these amazing, talented Black it girls. But Alex Earl never registered for me until early last year when I started seeing these conversations about why is there no Black Alex Earl. And the creator in the video I stitched hit it right on the head. What's happening at the micro is that we have not seen a Black creator ascend the same level of success, especially as quickly as Alex Earl, because her audience is predominantly white women who see themselves in her and reward her for doing the bare minimum. Black women, especially in the beauty and the lifestyle space, cannot get on this app looking a mess and give bare minimum content the same way Alex Earl does. At the microest of levels, her relatability for a lot of these women rests solely in her whiteness. There's no shade to Alex Earl. I want to be very clear. This is no shade to her. Undeniably, at a micro level, her success is directly attributed to her whiteness, particularly her white audience feeling they are able to relate to her because of their shared whiteness. Now, looking at this on a macro level, a lot of people, when they are not able to relate to you, they are not able to see you as a human, an equal, somebody that is worth giving time, energy, and care to. At a macro level, this is why we have seen certain communities completely turn a blind eye to the multiple genocides that we have happening here, because those genocides do not impact communities of people who look like them, who they can relate to. At a micro level, if you are not able to even follow or support somebody because they don't look like you, how are people not able to see that that would be connected to the lack of empathy and support that we have for people on a macro level? All of these things going on in the world, all of these issues impacting people in the world, why would we then not think that the same inability to relate to somebody based on skin color would just be limited to the influencers we support or don't support? Big picture.
Rewarded for mediocrity.
I said this before and people did not like it. And it was mainly other Black creators who were like, what about Aaliyah's interlude? What about Monet? What about Clark? And I was just like, well, damn, maybe I'm wrong. But honestly, I wasn't wrong, because all of them are exceptional in a way. They all have something that is to me very standout. I'm not trying to be bitter here. I'm not trying to be a hater. And I am also not calling Alex Earl or anyone like her mediocre. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that. I'm just saying that we have to, as Black women, be way more than pretty faces. And I'm not the only one who has said this. Obviously, this creator is saying it. Justine's camera roll created a video literally yesterday saying the same exact thing. And this is so frustrating to feel as a Black creator. And this is something I felt my entire life. It's that people, it's like you can't be inspirational or aspirational to the white community, because we're just simply not what white people want to see. I'm just gonna say it because I think that someone's going to bring it up. Yes, you can create a primarily Black audience, but I don't think you reach the kind of mainstream success that gets you to multiple millions of followers without also having the white community backing you. I have to talk about this. I really hate it because I just want my page to be fun, funky, and fresh, but I feel like I always end up touching on these kind of like racial issues because I have felt it more than a lot of people as someone who has grown up around white people, but is Black. And I know at the end of the day I'm Black, and that is never going to change, and it's not something I want to change. But I just mean, like, I know I felt it my whole life. I have felt it my entire life that I am just going to always have to work harder to stand out around people. This is not to say that being a content creator is easy for literally anyone. We know that the market for this is obviously saturated now, so everyone kind of has to be a standout. But I think you just have to go an extra mile as a Black creator. I really like that this creator specifically talked about how the white community struggles to empathize with us. And I think that that is why I felt so pulled to stitch this video, because I feel like one of my main missions that I've been trying to accomplish through my content creation and through my messaging is the fact that we can empathize for each other. When I made a video a few months back about like blondes, and I stitched out, it was actually Alex Earl's video that I stitched where she was talking about like being jealous of Kristen's hair, and I was like, I am so confused. Like, what is so aspirational about platinum blonde hair? And then this started an entire debate, but like Black people were like, why do you care? I mind my Black business. Girl, this is none of your business. They don't care about us, so I don't care about them. And that really bothered me, because I feel like we will never ever change that disconnect that is happening between the two races if we hold that kind of mindset. The history there is rough, and I know that, but if we keep on holding on to the hatred there, how is anyone supposed to get past it? So to me, I really think the only option from here is to learn to start empathizing with each other, not for it to be a one-way street on one or the other side. Like, we all have to work together to just figure out how to care about each other, at least a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's too aspirational, but I've been holding on to this delusion that if anyone can make people see the reason in having compassion for each other or changing this narrative, that it's going to be me. Cheers to that.
The reason there's no Black Alex Earl is because Black women are not rewarded for mediocrity. And almost...
Hey Izzy, I loved your video and I wanted to add to that. In addition to no Black Alex Earl, we also don't have a brown Alex Earl. And I think part of the problem is the people who make these Alex Earls exist and whose content we support. So I think as a society as a whole, collectively, we have to agree to make a brown and a Black Alex Earl. Because although the standards of beauty have evolved, we are very much still stuck in our old stubborn ways where the ideal standard of beauty is white, or at least primarily white. Where Alex Earl can post a video of her literally just waking up, it'll blow up. If a Black or a brown creator did just that or did anything Alex Earl did to a T, it would not get the same attention it deserves. So when you are watching a Black or a brown creator, remember to support them, encourage them, and let's get a brown and a Black Alex Earl on our way in 2024. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Why is there no Black or brown Alex Earl? Yes, there are very successful Black and brown creators, but they don't get rewarded just for posting anything. They get rewarded for the hard work that they put in. So technically there is no Black or brown Alex Earl. I'd love to know your thoughts on this.
who don't look like...
First, y'all go watch his full video because he left the mic on the fucking floor. Second, my For You page is just on fire this morning. I'm in a stitching mood. Y'all enjoy. This is one thing about society that I've observed my entire life growing up in a white community, being a Black girl. I was treated differently. By some, not all, but mainly by those who didn't see me as the human in the same way they saw others. I might have told this story on here before, but here it goes again. As a makeup artist, I was handing out flyers, and on the flyers, there's African-American models. Just talking about my services, promoting myself. So I give out my flyer to a group of white women, and one of the women goes, well, these are for Black people. These services are for Black people, not for us. And basically just walked away. She didn't take the flyer. It was jaw-dropping, but not surprising. You even look at now with the, like he said, in the current crisis, the genocide we are witnessing in real time, how people can see that or just ignore it and choose not to care because they don't feel a connection to those people. Because at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all people. We all live on this earth together. It just blows my mind, the lack of solidarity there is. Even organizing, when I organized my white community, we were just saying we want to be loved, we want to be heard, and we want justice. And it was surprising to see how much rage it brought on to people who just hated to see us speaking up and standing up against hate, against brutality. Solidarity is where it starts, and we got to start empathizing and seeing ourselves in each other. We got to start loving and caring a bit more.
And Alex Earl, she goes viral for existing.
They want to be white. They don't want to be Black. Alex Earl gives them that aspirational white woman lifestyle that Black women cannot give. Black women can have the aesthetics of whiteness, right? Like in the lifestyle realm, like you can look up to certain aesthetics that Black women portray that are linked to whiteness, but they will never be white. And that is the core of what people aspire to when they watch beauty and lifestyle influencers. Not everyone, of course, not everyone, but if you're watching or pedestalizing people like Alex Earl, then it is a clear cut, like she's not giving you anything but white woman down, and that is what people want to be. So to even inquire about why there isn't a Black Alex Earl, why would there be? She is peak white womanhood. Like no Black woman is ever going to be able to break that ceiling. That's a reserved, that's a whites only party. And not saying everybody that watches Alex Earl is white, but if you know, you know.
What do you guys think about what this creator said and what other stitches as well mentioned? Because I feel like he's not even trying to kind of bring this creator down. I don't think any of these stitches is bringing this creator down. It's just a conversation of if it happens to be a Black person just doing, that random thing doing their life, it's almost impossible for them to just be at that level. Like there is no connection of that level of success for this certain group of people if they just do randomly what these other counterparts are going to do. And I think it's a very good conversation because there are so many creators who have talked about this on TikTok as well, and it's really a struggle because Black people put so much effort into their content, and if you search for anything online, I'm sure the very first few recommendations might probably not be a Black person. Like I have tried that so many times, especially in the beauty niche. A Black person might probably not pop up on your page unless you actually narrow it down, like narrow your keywords down, and that is when they are going to pop up on your page. And I know that is going to be a struggle, and this is a conversation where we need to continue to have for us to be connected, for us to come together and connect and empathize with each other and grow together. This is the reason why when I shared the video yesterday of Charlie Clark talking about how he's going to question Black people's qualification. If you were to be on a plane and the pilot is a Black person, that's going to question this person's qualification. And it almost like sounded as if things are being handed over to Black people, where in every area, even down to social media creation, Black people have had to work their hearts, like literally work their butt off. Let me just hear what you guys think about this conversation in the comment section. Thank you all so much for joining. Please subscribe before you go and turn your bell notification on as well, and I will definitely talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.